This is telling a whole different story, though. Brothers and sisters, kings, queens, goddess and gods, we ain't hearing that. Let's go to work, family.
Seeking to declare the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. For more than 300 years, Africans were treated as property, were tortured, humiliated, raped, and forced out of the continent, over 12.5 million of them, in the most dehumanizing and despicable circumstances. The world is yet to acknowledge this. Perpetrators are yet to apologize and have not compensated the victims.
Family, do you want an apology or do you want money? I'm asking that question to my brothers and sisters in the house tonight. Do you want money or an apology? Listen.
This is a time to demand reparatory justice, and this is the time to demand restitution.
Look at the hypocrisy. That's the Prime Minister of Ghana at this Latin American and Caribbean Forum in Bogota.
Latin American popped up for the third time, y'all.
Colombia, demanding reparations like they have a right to reparations. Did we not forget that Latin America was conquered by Spain, right? Some of the people who run Latin America to this day are descendants of Spaniards, the same people that, enslaved the people in those lands. So you're talking about reparations, then those people that's the descendant of slaves in those countries deserve reparations from their government, not the United States. If we're talking about reparations from the United States, then that's strictly inclusively to Black Americans, Adolfs and freemen, the descendants of Black enslaved Americans and the descendants of freemen in this country. Now, Africa was a co-conspirator, especially Ghana. Ghana turned slavery into tourism. They making money off all those slave castles, millions of dollars, right? Let's not talk about that, how they're co-conspirators too. So the people that participated in this, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the Europeans, and the French, right? Those are the people that need to give reparations. Like if it's the Caribbeans, what is that? The UK, those UK Europeans, yeah, get your reparations over there. But over here in the United States, that's not an African thing. That's a Black American thing. Yeah, it sounds like another scam to me, if you ask me. But yeah, and did I not mention that Ghana still make money off slavery? They turn slavery into tourism.
Wednesday, President Mahama will address the UN General Assembly during the International Day of Remembrance of Victims and Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. Now, President Mahama will present Ghana's position, which has been adopted by the African Union on a landmark resolution to declare the trafficking of enslaved Africans and the ritualized chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity. The visit will commence with a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at the African Burial Grounds Memorial in New York on Tuesday, paying tribute to the memory of enslaved Africans. And we are joined on Zoom by International Relations.
Enslaved Africans. Family, notice again, for the 100th time, they don't never call the Latinos enslaved Africans. They don't call the Haitians enslaved Africans. They don't call the Jamaicans enslaved Africans. The only reason they call us enslaved Africans because all them other people ain't got ish, and we got everything they want. You think it's a coincidence that the big dogs on the block that built this big, massive country that they all flee to are the only ones they want to put the African tag on? How come they don't do the African tag on Jamaicans or Haitians? Notice, fam, that you keep the sovereignty of the Latinos, the Latin Americans,